What if I told you that Justin Bieber may have just sparked one of the biggest celebrity dramas of the year? Without saying a single word, no captions, no tweets. Just one Instagram story, and suddenly fans are spiraling, decoding, screenshotting, and asking, did Justin just throw shade at his own friend? And no, this isn't about a surprise album drop, a secret baby, or another one of those chaotic hair transformations. This feels different. It's raw, it's personal, and it's hitting way too close to home. Because this time, Justin isn't making headlines for his music. He might have just reopened an emotional wound involving not just an old friend, but also the woman who inspired some of his most heartbreaking songs, Selena Gomez. Now fans aren't just watching. They're investigating, and what they've uncovered? It's wild. It's messy. And honestly, it might explain everything: the emotional Instagram captions, the cryptic studio clips, and the sudden silence between two people who used to be nearly inseparable, Justin Bieber and Benny Blanco. But what really happened? Why are fans convinced that Justin's seemingly innocent repost was actually a calculated move? Stay right here, because once you see how this all connects, Justin, Benny, Selena, even Hailey, you'll realize this wasn't just a petty moment on social media. This was a line in the sand. Let's break it all down. Starting with the Instagram story that kicked off a digital firestorm. It started with just one Instagram story. At first glance, it looked harmless. Justin reposted a funny TikTok. Just a guy doing an exaggerated impression of producer Benny Blanco, joking about how effortlessly he makes music. You know, one of those over-the-top skits, the kind you'd scroll past without thinking twice. But the moment Justin hit share, everything changed, because this wasn't just any clip. It was a direct jab at Benny's style, at his process, at the very foundation of how he built his reputation in the industry. The video joked that Benny once produced an entire hit using nothing but an Xbox 360 headset in 13 seconds. While Kesha was in the studio for less time than it takes to heat up a microwave burrito. Yeah, it was funny. But the second Justin put it on his story, it stopped being just a joke. It became a message. And fans? They heard it loud and clear. Comment sections exploded. TikTok detectives went into overdrive. Just say it, Justin, you're shading Benny. This isn't random. There's no way he posted this without meaning something. Was it all just for laughs? A spur of the moment share, or was it a silent dig wrapped in humor? A classic celebrity move where the real story hides between the lines. Let's be honest. In the world of A-listers, nothing on social media is accidental. Every repost, every unfollow, every emoji, it all says something. And this one? It screamed, because not long ago, Benny and Justin weren't just collaborators. They were brothers in the studio, creative soulmates, emotional confidants. They made magic together. But now? That connection seems completely broken. So what happened between Justin Bieber and Benny Blanco? And how did Selena Gomez become the fire at the center of it all? Let's rewind, because the real story starts long before this TikTok ever showed up. There was a time when Justin and Benny weren't just collaborators, they were family. Late nights in the studio, vulnerable songwriting sessions, moments of silence that only close friends understand. Benny wasn't just a beat maker to Justin. He was someone Justin leaned on, especially during his most fragile moments with Selena Gomez. The world only saw the headlines, the breakups, the makeups, the paparazzi frenzy. But Benny? He saw the tears, the doubt, the late-night texts. He was there when Justin poured his heartbreak into lyrics. He heard the voice cracks and raw demos that would later become chart-topping hits. He knew the depth of it all. So when fans found out Benny Blanco wasn't just dating Selena, but had proposed to her, everything shifted. That wasn't just a romantic plot twist. That was betrayal, because this wasn't just any ex. This was the ex. The one who inspired Sorry, Ghost, and every lyric that made millions cry along with Justin. And Benny, the same man who once sat beside Justin as he processed that pain, was now holding Selena's hand, wearing the smile Justin once knew. No warning, no conversation. Just headlines. Outlets like In Touch Weekly and Daily Mail reported that Justin felt completely blindsided. There was no call, no, hey, just wanted you to hear it from me. Just boom. Instagram stories. Engagement rings. Tabloid covers. And what did Benny do? Nothing. No message. No explanation, not even a hope you're doing okay. He just kept posting like nothing happened, like history had been erased. But for Justin, it hadn't. That silence? It hit harder than any diss track or public insult ever could. It was the kind of quiet that screams, "You don't matter anymore," and that broke something. So Justin did what many people do when words fail. He acted subtly, a quiet unfollow, a muted presence, and then that one shady repost. Small on the surface, but bursting with unsaid words underneath. After the betrayal, Justin didn't go on a podcast. He didn't tweet. He didn't name names. He just went quiet, but sometimes silence says more than a press release ever could. The first sign? Justin unfollowed Benny on social media. No captions, no drama, just gone. Fans noticed immediately. Screenshots spread like wildfire. And that's when the decoding began, because if you've been following Justin for years, you know, he doesn't lash out with words. He lets the internet do the talking. And lately, the signals have been undeniable. Emotional Instagram posts with no explanation. Studio clips filled with raw energy. Long pauses during interviews. That familiar sadness in his eyes, the kind we haven't seen since the height of the Selena breakup years. Fans say he's pulled back, not just from the spotlight, but from people. His vibe online, it's scattered. One day he's smiling with Hailey, the next he's posting cryptic lyrics about trust, loss, and starting over. And behind the scenes, insiders say this has taken a toll. That's where Hailey comes in. She's not just his wife, she's been his rock through all of it, holding the family together, shielding him from the noise. Even while the internet constantly drags her into Selena-related drama, she's remained poised, quiet, but fiercely protective. But even the strongest hearts have breaking points. Imagine watching your husband spiral, not because he wants his ex back, but because someone he once trusted broke him in a way no ex ever could. That kind of emotional betrayal doesn't just sting, it lingers. Sources close to Hailey say she's been doing everything she can to keep Justin grounded. She's focused on their baby, on their home, on giving him space to feel, without letting him fall apart. Still, it's hard to ignore the tension. And it's even harder when the past refuses to stay buried, especially when that past is smiling on someone else's Instagram feed. Selena Gomez getting engaged should have been a sweet, private moment, a happy chapter in her personal life. But the second her engagement to Benny Blanco went public, it became something else entirely. Because this wasn't just about love, it was about timing, about history, about emotional landmines fans have been tiptoeing around for years. Selena and Benny didn't just start dating. They fell in love, loudly, publicly, and fast. One minute, he's dropping subtle heart emojis on her posts. The next, he's calling her the love of my life in interviews. And suddenly, boom, they're engaged. No warning, no soft launch. Just rings, photos, and a caption that felt like a mic drop. But for Justin, that mic drop sounded more like an earthquake, because this wasn't just his ex. This was the ex, the girl who haunted every stage of his youth, the muse behind songs that made the world cry. And Benny? The man who once sat next to him in the studio while he whispered those lyrics through heartbreak. He became the next chapter in Selena's story. And here's the thing, it wasn't just betrayal, it was closure. Handed to someone else. Fans went wild. Old photos resurfaced. Twitter threads traced the timeline. And the math wasn't mathing. Some even said it felt like a low blow, like Benny had crossed a sacred line, that he had to know what this would do to Justin. That proposing to Selena meant stepping into a space Justin never really healed from, and as if fate was twisting the knife, the rumors started flying. Selena and Benny were spotted at one of her and Justin's old favorite restaurants in LA, candlelit dinner, cozy booth. A place fans had tagged 100 times during their on-again, off-again love story. Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it hit like a punch to the gut, and not just for Justin. For fans too, who've lived through every messy chapter of this saga since day one. Because this wasn't just a new relationship. It felt like the final nail in a door that never really closed. And yet, no one said a word, not Justin, not Selena, not even Benny, which only made the silence louder. Just when fans thought the dust was finally starting to settle, Justin dropped another bombshell. Quietly, of course. No tweet, no caption, just one Instagram story. A dimly lit studio. Justin in the booth, eyes closed, headphones on, mouthing lyrics no one had ever heard before. No sound. No context, just emotion. And that look on his face? It was unmistakable, not performance, not hype. It was real, it was pain. It was something he wasn't ready to say out loud, but couldn't keep bottled up anymore. Within minutes, the internet went into overdrive. Is this a new heartbreak song? Is he writing about Benny? Wait, is this for Selena? The clip was only a few seconds long. But it said everything, because when words fail, music DOESN single quotes T. And if you follow Justin over the years, you know this is his pattern. When the world gets too loud, he retreats into lyrics, into melodies, into the only place he feels safe, telling the truth. But just as speculation hit a fever pitch, Hailey Bieber made her move. She posted a black and white photo. No faces, just hands, her hand tightly gripping Justin's. The caption? Just 3 words, grace through it. All soft, subtle, but powerful. Was it support? A reminder to the world that she's still here, still holding on, still fighting for her husband through everything? Or was it a message? A quiet answer to the noise surrounding Justin's emotions, Selena's glow and Benny's silence? The timing was impossible to ignore. Because just hours later, Selena was spotted with Benny leaving a private dinner in Los Angeles, arm in arm, smiling but saying nothing as paparazzi swarmed them with questions. The same restaurant where, years ago, fans snapped blurry pics of her and Justin at the exact same table. Accident or reminder? And meanwhile, Justin? Still silent. Still in the studio. Still processing. Because while the headlines scream drama, what's really happening here is grief. Not for a failed romance, but for a friendship, a bond, a chapter of life Justin may never fully close, and maybe he doesn't want to. For anyone on the outside, this all might look like just another celebrity feud. Some shade here, a few Instagram stories there, a quiet unfollow. The usual Hollywood drama, right? But for those who've really followed Justin's journey, who've seen him rise, fall, crash, rebuild, and love again, this moment feels different, deeper, like it's not just about betrayal. It's about grief. Not the kind you cry about in one night. The kind that lingers, quiet, numbing. The kind that comes when someone you trusted flips the page without warning, without explanation, and leaves you stuck in a chapter you thought you wrote together. Because here's what fans are starting to realize. This isn't really about Selena. It's about Benny, the friend who was there through the storm. The one who saw the tears behind the scenes. The one who said, I got you, and meant it. Until he didn't. That TikTok Justin reposted? It wasn't just a joke, it was a release. A way to say, I see you. I see what you did, and yeah, it still hurts. Justin didn't need to call out names. He didn't need to rant online. He let a 15-second video do the talking, and in those 15 seconds, millions of fans heard something loud and clear. Justin still feels it, because moving on doesn't mean you're over it. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. And just because you built a new life with a wife, a family, a home full of laughter and love, doesn't mean you don't still feel the sting of what never got closure. People close to Justin say he's been spending more time in the studio, writing, reflecting, turning pain into music again, just like he always has. Only this time, it's not about heartbreak from a relationship. It's heartbreak from a friendship that ended without goodbye. And maybe that's what hurts the most. Because breakups, we expect, but betrayal from someone who knew your scars? That cuts deeper than any lyric could ever explain. There's a strange kind of silence that follows heartbreak. It's not loud. It doesn't scream. It just lingers like background noise in a room you used to fill with laughter. And right now, that's where Justin Bieber seems to be. Not angry, not bitter, just somewhere in between. Stuck between the life he's built and the past that still echoes through it. Because no matter how happy he is with Hailey, no matter how much he smiles for cameras or posts late-night studio clips, one thing is painfully clear. This story isn't over for him. It's not about wanting Selena back. It's not about jealousy. It's about the haunting what-ifs. What if Benny had told him first? What if they had one final conversation? What if that friendship could have ended with honesty instead of silence? Instead, the chapter ended Mid-sentence, with a ring on someone else's finger and no one left to explain how they got here. Meanwhile, Benny and Selena are living their soft launch fairy tale. Candlelit dinners, cozy posts, filtered smiles, and still, no words, not a single comment. Not a subtle nod to the wave of tension they've stirred, just quiet confidence. And maybe that's what's so jarring, how easy it looks for them to move forward. Well, Justin still seems caught in rewind, but he's not the only one holding on. Millions of fans, the ones who grew up with Jelena, who watched the concerts, who cried over Purpose and screamed during Baby. They're watching too, analyzing every post, reading between every line. Because for them, this isn't just celebrity gossip. It's a human story of love, of loss, of loyalty tested, of trust shattered. And all it took to bring it back was one 15-second clip. So now the question isn't just, was Justin throwing shade? It's bigger than that. It's what happens when a friendship dies in silence. What do you do when someone you loved, whether as a partner or as a brother, starts a brand new life and doesn't even look back? Do you forgive them? Do you post a cryptic TikTok? Do you write a song and let the world figure it out? Or do you, like Justin, stay quiet and let the pain speak for you? This story may have started with an Instagram post, but it ends with something far more powerful. A reminder that even global icons bleed like the rest of us. So now we ask you, would you feel betrayed if your closest friend got engaged to your ex? Do you think Justin was sending a message? Is this just Hollywood drama? Or something deeply human playing out on a public stage? Drop your thoughts below, share this video, and send it to your group chat, because this isn't over. This is a story still unfolding, one Instagram story at a time.